All right. Um, well, welcome everyone. I'm glad you're here. It's a lovely night out there, but if for some reason you are unable to attend a ritual yourself, or there's no way you need guidance on how to go about a ritual, I definitely have your back. That's the purpose of my shrine, and I just want to welcome everyone here on this beautiful night. It's pretty hot where I am right now. We've got some storms coming in, so the humidity is getting really rough. So that's definitely a thing that's making things a bit different and difficult, but that's pretty typical for this time of year. So to start out, I really want to focus on getting us grounded before we do any kind of work. This is, if you're familiar with sort of basic Wiccan and witchcraft practices, this is fairly common in those circles, and you should feel pretty comfortable uh, with what's coming. If you're new to any kind of active sort of meditation, this might be a little weird for you. So just kind of go with me and we'll do this together. So you can either sit up or lie down. Usually you would be sitting or standing. These meditations tend to be pretty active, but I also want to be considerate of the fact that you may be listening to this as you go to sleep. You may not have time to even do a full meditation, so we'll work with that. So take a deep breath in, um, just three of those to kind of slow your breathing. Now visualize a point of light at the base of your spine. Just a little glowing star there. Take another deep breath in, and as you breathe in, visualize that point of light easing down with every breath into the ground, like you're sprouting roots from your spine. Now, I would cycle through this, I would say, about 5 times to really get you settled into the earth. So just one, in and out, two, in and out, three, in and out, four, in and out, five. And as these roots touch the ground, they, again, they're being roots, they crawl into the soil underneath the floor and go deep into that hot magma core of the earth. I want to do another 5 cycle breathing and really sort of tap into that deep magma core of the earth. So, one, and two, three, four, five, and just feel that heat from the core of the earth. Now, what we're going to do is start breathing up that energy into our body. We're going to feel that warmth, that heart of the earth pulsing through you as you breathe it up. We're going to do that in two 5 cycle breaths. One to bring it up through the earth, and then another to bring it up to the top of our body, all the way to the top of our head. So one, in and out. Two, in, out. Three, in and out. Four, in and out. Five, in and out. You should be feeling that warmth in your spine now. And then we do another cycle of breaths, bringing that earth energy up through our spine, through our solar plexus, through our heart, through our throat, through our head, all the way up to what is commonly referred to as the crown center, crown chakra. Now, this one's going to be a little different. I will be mentioning some parts of the body as we go to kind of give you an idea of where we should be. If you're not there, don't feel pressured. Okay, so deep breath in for one, up through the spine, two, up through the solar plexus, your heart, three, up to your throat, four, all moving up through your head, five, all the way up to that crown center. Now, I don't know about you, but this is about the time I really start feeling it. If you've not done this meditation before, I would imagine you're starting to feel some of that energy going on. Now, the next thing we will do is call down the energy of the stars. And this is going to be sort of the light between the hot magma core of the earth and the brightness of the bright fire of the stars. This will be our warm, sort of fiery center or protector appropriately as we wander in between worlds here doing our work. Again, we do this sort of fivefold breath, I will I will be sort of giving you a visual of what is going on. But just in summary, we are pulling this sort of energy we've pulled from the core of the earth up towards the stars, and then we will turn around and bring that energy back into ourselves, and then finally center both energies within ourselves so we can continue the rest of the work that we're doing. Again, fivefold breath. One, in and out, feeling that energy slowly drift upwards above your head towards your roof. Fivefold breath. Two, in and out, that energy moving past your house, up towards the sky. Fivefold breath. Three, in and out, that energy drifting towards the stars. Fivefold breath. Four, in, out, getting closer, closer. Fivefold breath. Five, we are now touching the hot warmth of the stars above. And we're going to do another fivefold breath. Bring that energy back down. Consider it as the light core that will shield us and ground us as we continue in the work. So, one more 5 full breath. One, in and out. Feel that bright, fiery energy of the stars, that same sort of magma, but only from above, moving down, further down, in and out. 5 full breath. Two, continues to drift down, moving away, coming back towards Earth. 5 full breath. Three, in, out. We are continuing to drift, re-entering the atmosphere. 5 full breath. Four, it's coming back down towards your roof, crossing into your house. 5 full breath. Five, reunites with your body at your crown with another series of just another deep breath. In, out. Bring that energy down into your core, into your center, wherever that may be. For me, it tends to be around my heart. A little lower sometimes, depending. We are going to keep that grounded energy there as we progress with the rest of the meditation. So, what we're going to do for a quarter call, as they refer to it in Wicca, is going to be a little different. It's going to be a similar sort of meditation, but along with calling sort of the spirit of the elements, I will also be calling on the 4 archangels. This is a sort of comfort thing of mine. I've gotten in the habit of it when I do my own work. Um, Alternatively, there are 4 demon kings you can also do this with. I don't tend to use them very much, but I have used them in the past as sort of guardians, watchtower guardians. It really kind of depends on your preference. But my sense tonight is we need sort of an angelic presence. So that is where we're going for that. So I check something real quick here and go from there. So that's what we're looking at right now. I'm not going to do a sort of full invocation. Uh, I'm sort of going to do like this, how do I put it, chanted call for the 4 archangels. And after I do that, I will sort of give you a visual on what you should be seeing. These are my own interpretations. I know folks can get a little picky on how this is done, but this is just my way. Take it or leave it. Just another deep breath in and out. Get ourselves centered. Focus on that bright core that we called upon earlier. So since we're not in a ritual space, just think of the corners as what's in front of you. North in the front, south behind you, east to your left, west to your right. We're going to start on our right, or excuse me, my left. That will be our east, and we'll go from there. Now, the image of Raphael, you see an angel surrounded in a bright, goldish yellow light with a streaming ballast of wind coming up behind him, sort of surrounding you. He's a healer, so he carries sort of white lilies of purity and has sort of the kind, caring face that you would get on the kindest of physicians. Next is the south. Mika, Mika. So that image of St. Michael the Archangel. You're all probably familiar with sort of his flaming image taking down demons and the devil. That is very much the energy he brings. Fire, passion, pride, his flaming sword striking down things that need struck. Next is the west on the right for Gabriel. 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 And the image of Gabriel. Gabriel is the messenger carrying a horn. Remember, he is the angel that announced the birth of Jesus to the Virgin Mary. It's called the Annunciation. He will also be responsible for heralding the apocalypse, or so they say. It is surrounded in a blue, calming flow of water. Because after all, the easiest way to deliver messages before we had airplanes was water by ship. Finally, we have in front of you, which is the north, which is the angel Uriel. Now, this is the angel of the earth, an angel of wisdom, bringing the steady age of oak trees and old boulders, the deep recesses of the deepest parts of the earth itself. So that's our corners. Now, I sometimes tend to do a circle meditation before this, but it didn't quite seem necessary with the angels. I'm just kind of going to go with this when I feel like, so we will go from this on to our full moon meditation. Now, so assuming you're inside, visualize the bright fullness of the moon right above your head. Just keep it there. Keep it there. Grandmother Moon, just right above you, knowing that she's right there outside. You can go and see her when you're done with this and sort of continue your talk with her. Uh, there's an old legend around here that she gifted Spanish moss as a blanket to a family that got caught in a hurricane in the middle of a bayou. Didn't have anywhere else to go. So they climbed up a tree, and the mother, trying to keep her two children safe, pled to the moon for some sort of aid because she was afraid her children were going to freeze to death. So the moon took bits of the clouds and wove them together into Spanish moss. well, what was eventually called Spanish moss. Let me speak more accurately, and float it around the mother and her children, and that's what kept them safe and alive. And that's why you see them all the way down here all the time. So interesting story. This would set us out as we're meditating on the fullness of the moon. So, taking from the old practices of the strega, the Italian witches, we would be drawing down the moon the same way we did with our grounding meditation. We pull down the energy of the stars. We will also call upon the energy of the moon. This time, but also giving her full due respect. So Grandmother Moon, on this night when you reach your peak, we look to you awe and wonder, giving you thanks for the gifts you've given us, whether it be inspiration, protection, whatever names you take, whether it be Selene, Artemis, Luna, Hecate, any of the names you've taken, we call we call you with these names on this your fullest of nights. Grandmother Moon, we ask you to be with us tonight. With that prayer, I want you to sort of feel the moon engulfing you. Really, that moonlight energy above your head just completely encircling you. Like, if you've ever seen a ring around the moon, which I realize there's pretty nasty superstitions about that, but anyway, imagine that sort of hue of the moon just completely encircling you. And as we do another fivefold breath, I want you to feel that sort of dreamy silver white energy of the moon sort of slowly come into your center, where that was when we were doing our grounding. Like I said, for me, it's my heart, around my heart, solar plexus area. And just take that gift from the fullness of take that blessing that is part of this most sacred of exchanges that we have with the moon at this time, giving reverence for the moon and its cycles. And so deep breath in. One, feel that current of the moon's silver white aura coming into you bit by bit. Deep breath in. Two, feel it slowly start to engulf your center. Deep breath in. Three, more of it starting to flow into you, giving you calm, giving you peace, bringing you power should you need it. Deep breath in. Three. Oh, I think I did three. Deep breath in. Four. Starts to settle inside your body, inside your core. Deep breath in. Five. It settles. And just sit there. Stay in the presence of the moon. Give Grandmother Moon thanks for this blessing. If you have any offerings on hand for the full moon, I would suggest giving them after you're done with the stream. Um, Preferably, I like to put offerings under a tree or in the ground somewhere, any sort of open earth So, so the universe can take them and they can be just sort of distributed where they need to go. I would definitely recommend doing that. So, finally, last but not least, we have Beltane. This is one of the great Celtic fire festivals that was incorporated into the Wiccan Rule of the Year, which makes it extremely popular. We also had Walpurgis Nacht a few days ago. So this is, which is another sort of fire festival associated with the witches' Sabbath. So we've had a lot of powerful days going on right now. And for the Beltane meditation, really want us to focus on a sense of joy, a sense of celebration. We're going into summer. A lot of people are going on vacations or, trying to take time to rest in between things. And if you're like me and you're constantly busy and a vacation is just not sort of in your future, this is a way to sort of relax and sort of bring yourself into a sense of revelry in between, in the in between. So, what I want you to do as we continue to be in this sort of meditative state is visualize a bright bonfire, just bright, like the biggest bonfire you can possibly see, like the ones you see at those big college parties, or if you've ever seen footage of like some of the festivals in the UK where there's the thing is just like stacked, you know, several yards high, or one of those. Just sort of bring that into your view. And as you sort of get a sense of sort of where the logs are placed, where the fire is burning, take another deep breath in and out. And sort of settle into sort of gazing into that fire. Another deep breath in and out. Get a sense of how the fire is just looking looking into the air. The sparks are jumping. So many sparks. It's such a big fire. It's licking and dancing. Take a deep look at just how the flames are dancing. And you get a sense of what's around you. You see people dancing, drinking. There's music, flutes coming from somewhere. And you think you hear a fiddle somewhere too. There are the strangest people dancing around this bonfire. You see a couple people that have horns that kind of look like mine. You see a few sets of wings, maybe a pair like mine. Maybe there's somebody. Wait, were those dragonfly wings? Did you see an actual dragon's wings? You feel like you've fallen into a Midsummer Night's Dream. That kind of, you feel that energy starting to bubble around this bonfire. Another deep breath in. You see a sort of figure approach you from the crowded revelers. And this is a Fey guide, kind of like me, here to say hello. This guide hands you a drink. If you like mead, it is a sort of sweet mead. It's not. Um, any whatever your preference of drink is, they know exactly what it is, and they're here to give it to you. They hand you that drink and sort of introduce themselves. I would take another deep breath, kind of get a sense of what they look like, what they're saying as they're introducing themselves. This is another sort of spirit guide, like me, from the Fae. And then they gently take your hand and lead you around the whole room. And it's a pretty crazy one. like I said, drinking, dancing, anything you can imagine at a party. There, there are there are people selling things. There's art displays. There's more music than you can even fathom going on in some of the corners. You see the man with the fiddle is some sort of red-skinned devil that you feel like you've heard about in some stories. The there's a satyr that was playing that flute that you heard earlier. All sorts of exotic instruments that you didn't expect to see here. And take note of what those are too, what the people are selling. All of these are messages. All of these are things you should keep in mind. Now, take another deep breath in before you leave, because you can't stay too long or be caught in the revelry forever. The stories always warn about that too. Your Fey Guide gives you a parting piece of wisdom. It thanks you for visiting their little shindig. They always like to have new people visit. They give you another serving of that drink you like before to tip you off before you go. Then around you, take another deep breath in. Images around the bonfire start to fade, bit by bit. Take another deep breath in. With each breath you take, every solid breath you take, take another one. The images of the dancing spirits start to disappear, and all you see is the bonfire. Crackling bonfire. And slowly that starts to disappear too. And we are back. We are back at the Nightside Shrine. So you could say that's one reason why we didn't do a circle casting, is we were taking advantage of sort of the twilight to we were the ones taking the step, not the other way around. So I hope you enjoyed that and you got something good out of that. Blessed archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael, thank you for joining us on our journey. Hail and farewell. With great blessings, we send you off, hoping to see you again. And if your presence is needed, I hope you continue to stay with us. But otherwise, hail and farewell. All right, everybody. I'm going to, well, I don't want to say unground, sort of bring us back sort of into reality. Wiggle your toes, crack your neck, take another deep breath to kind of get back into your body. We definitely did a little bit of jumping in the in between there. I do apologize if you're expecting some music. Working on the background music thing that has caused me trouble before. Once I figure that out in OBS, we will be good to go. And that should be pretty cool. I'm gonna check something else while I'm thinking about it. Whoops. Clicking on here. Do, do, do. But that's about all I had. I was hoping I would have more. But that is about it. We're going a little bit on 40 minutes, so I will kind of sit here and talk. As I did promise tarot readings, but it's kind of hard to give tarot readings to nobody. I mean, we could do some like general polls for things, but that's not like recording a ritual. I like to have an idea. I gotta have to be able to tap into something for that, and I'm not really feeling it today. So we will just kind of go from there. Um, let me think. Speaking of reveille, I do have a bit of a drink in my hands. I can really afford much at the moment, but I did pick up a little something while I was finishing up my work today. And if you're enjoying a nice little something, I hope you're having a good time with that too, because Lord knows I am. It's been a bit of a rough week. I think it's been a rough week for everybody. Been hearing that all over the place. That's actually been affecting a lot of my decision as far as what I'm offering as far as my streaming is concerned. So we're just kind of working from there. Like I said, seeing really what goes on with that. I'm really curious to see what happens, if I'm perfectly honest. So, um, I really don't feel like dawdling like I did with the debut stream. Feeling like I have to sort of sit here and wait for people to show up just is not how I'm going to run things around here. People will come when they're ready. So, now that our work here is done for the night, I want to thank you for visiting whenever you end up watching this, and hope you have a good night. Night, and blessed Beltane.